Hi everyone, I'm Caleb, one of the Peds Regis here in Antrim at the minute. I'm just doing a quick video on DKA in terms of how to use the order sets, which prior to Encompass would have been the DKA protocol that you would have prescribed on in the handwritten notes. We're just going to use this test baby here to show you. It's pretty straightforward. So it's the same as we've done lots of other orders in the other videos. So you've got this test child, 2-year-old female, pretend, and 16 kilos, pretend they come into A&E in new DKA first presentation. So you've been asked to see them in A&E, so you'll do your usual admission note, which we've showed before through the paediatric navigators, as a clerk in with your examination, and then when you're coming to prescribe everything and put them on the protocol, it's done through your order set here. So we type in DKA, and it's the pediatric diabetes ketoacidosis one that we're clicking. It's an order set here. We double click it and we will get a whole host of stuff to work through. You can prescribe pretty much everything in one go here. First thing you're going to want to do is click, if you're not familiar with the BSPEC guidelines, DKA guidelines, click this guideline and bring you to the link online, and you can have a read through the DKA guidelines to become familiar with it. Or if you are familiar with it or you've read this, then you can click the calculator, which is what most of us use, the BSPEC calculator, which will work out the maintenance and dehydration fluids for us, and basically show us what to calculate, so we don't need to do it ourselves manually. You can still do it manually if you want. It's still probably recommended to double check. The calculator I will show you in a second. It is slightly different to when I last used it, so it's set up now with a kind of audit trail, so you need to put in the patient's details in terms of their NHS number if you've got it, etc., so that they can use it for audit purposes, and then it will give you a PDF that you can work through and prescribe based on this. So I'm just going to click into this just to show you what it looks like, and then we'll work through the rest of this in a wee minute. So when you click your DKA calculator, it'll bring you onto this link here, and you just click start. So it's slightly different to when I was used to using it. You didn't have to fill so much stuff in. We'll just work through this here. So test baby or test patient. We'll just give them, I can't remember the date of birth of the patient we were using as Encompass was, but let's make them 1st of January 22, so what, 3.5 years old. Female, don't have an NHS number because we're just using the test, and we'll just put a couple of numbers down there. And just make up a postcode. Okay, so this is the time. Our pH, let's say we're 7.01. And we don't have to put the bicarb, etc. in, but we can. So we'll say that bicarb's 8, our glucose is 6, our glucose is not 6. We're not in DKA then, are we? Our glucose is 26, and our ketones are 6. Our weight is 16 kilos. We're not shocked. We're going to go for 0.1 units per kilo per hour because that's what I'm most comfortable using, but you could use 0.05 in certain situations. And we're a new diabetic, so we're not known. Move on, and we'll say, so we can click this as a testing purpose for a real patient. And we're in Antrim. And I'll just pick myself as the demographics. We don't have any preventable factors that we know of. And then this will download our fluid prescription for us. Just takes a wee second here. We'll have a glance at this. So here we go. So this is our test baby. This is our proforma. Information we've put in. It's got a lot of info here. So it does, people will be more familiar maybe with this part. It's the way it used to look. You used to get like a sheet like this that you work through. So if you're not familiar, this just works you through the protocol in terms of if the sugar's really high, you've no ketones, it's not DKA, etc. And then this is what DKA is. And this is the sheet that I'm more familiar with, that it used to just come as. So your ABC, you've got your weight here, your resuscitation volume, if you're shocked and not shocked. So this is in a green box because we clicked on the protocol that we're not shocked. So we've got 160, so it's worked out the volume already of our fluid bolus. And it tells you here that this bolus will be included in your rehydration because we're not shocked. If we are shocked, we can give a load of boluses without including, just be a bit aware, about cerebral edema risk. You don't need this bit because you've already filled all that in Compass. And here's our fluids that they've worked out for us. So this is our deficit. So it's already told us that we've got 10% deficit because of our pH and our bicarbonate, mostly our pH. That's our volume. It's worked out that it's taken off the fluid bolus that we're going to give, and that's our total rehydration volume over 48 hours. So it's divided by 48, and there's our volume of deficit replacement over an hour. And our maintenance, which it uses as, you can do the 4-2-1 rule, but it uses the 150 and 20 rule. So that's our maintenance. Divide that per day. That's our mils per hour of maintenance fluids for this child. And this is our deficit. Add the two together, and there you go. So we're prescribing 84.2 mils an hour of fluids. And then our insulin, it's showing us as, it's fairly self-explanatory, our weight by 0.1. So we're prescribing 1.6 units of insulin an hour for whenever we start that. Right, we're back in our Compass now. So we've done our DKA calculator. We've got our fluids of 4.2 mils or whatever it was. So we will work through this. So we're going to order an admission. So it's kind of one-stop shop. Lets you order everything you'll need for this child. So admit to inpatient, and then you're going to fill in pediatric medicine, whatever consultant is on the day. Probably estimated at 5 days. I don't think it really matters what you put there, to be honest. DKA is your diagnosis. Work through all that. And then coming down to our fluid boluses. So we'll know after seeing this child, are they shocked or not shocked? If they're shocked, then we're going to click this bit and give them fluids there. But we've already said our child is not shocked, and we put them into the protocol, and it already told us 160 mils on the DKA calculator, and it is 160 mils, which is great. So click that. Accept, unless you prescribed your fluid bolus for a non-shocked patient. And then the next prescription is their maintenance plus dehydration deficit fluids. Where our protocol told us, it worked everything out, and it said in total we're doing, was it 84.2? Can't quite remember. Just double check here. Yeah, 84.2. So 84.2 mils an hour, and we'll say this child had a gas in the uni and the potassium was normal or a wee bit low or something, so we're going to start on the standard sodium 0.9%, sodium chloride 0.9% with 20 millimoles of potassium. That's our standard fluids if our potassium's okay. That is our routine maintenance plus deficit. So we'll probably just click that for now because there isn't one of these you can click that adequately describes that. 84.2 mils an hour, continuous. We're giving this over 48 hours. In reality, fluids are usually stopped well before the 48 hour, but that's the total time of rehydration that we're aiming for. So that's just prescribed our fluids. And then our insulin, we said in this test that we're going to click Act Rapid, and we're going to click the 0.1 units per kilo per hour. But and then it gives us a rate of 1.6 mils an hour. In this part, we can change the time because so you're starting at IV fluids, and then you're usually not going to start insulin for 1 to 2 hours thereafter. So if you're wanting to fill all this out in a 1 hour, then you can change. This is 6:45 p.m. We're going to start our IV fluids just now. So let's say roughly in 2 hours' time, we're going to start our insulin. So change your start time for that. Accept. We're not going to prescribe any subcutaneous at the minute, and they don't need oxygen, and we'll maybe give them some paracetamol. So it's just an order set that contains loads of other stuff in it, so you can do everything at once. Equally, if you want to refer them to dietitians. But most of the time, I'll not click any of this, and I'll do the other orders for stuff in the future, and I'll just use this primarily for the fluid and insulin prescriptions. And that's really where it's most useful. It will also have a built-in hypoglycemia management part here, which is also very handy, so you can click through this. I'm not going to do all this just now, but basically so that you've got your glucagon, etc. if they become hypoglycemic. Okay. And then we can sign this up when we're finished, but I haven't filled everything out, but you then sign it and then that's everything prescribed. When you've reached the point where you want to add some glucose into your fluids, or if you've already reached that point, then you can click this prescription here. This has got the 10% glucose in it. So you can change it whichever one you need. And then sign. And once you've signed it, your order will come up at the top here. And that is the DKA protocol.